Everything we say is going in the blog.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Okay, so I just want to say really quick that Grace and I had a really wonderful night. She came back from work early. And
Well, yeah, I just didn't take a lunch break today.
right, so she got, yeah, exactly. And she didn't have to work late or anything, so when she came back, it was still daylight out.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Very odd for us.
and then we ordered Thai food, which was really good. We got Pat Siu, and and then we played a game that I just bought from Games.
We watched Orphan Black though.
Oh, we watched Orphan Black. We watched Orphan Black.
We watched Orphan Black.
We had a glass of wine and watched Orphan Black, and then we played Carcassonne, which is a game I just bought, and we learned, we're so high tech and like internet-y, we learned how to play the game from a YouTube video that we watched on the big screen. And it was actually really fun.
It was good, and one thing I love about Ashley, she does not get, I mean, she's competitive when we play games, but it all ends. Once we
after
stop-
the game,
Yeah,
yeah.
after the game.
We're not dating when we play games,
Yeah.
but after the game, we're
You're
dating
like-
again, and I don't give a shit about the game.
Yeah.
It's like, that's in the past. Besides whether or not I think the game is fun and want to play it.
Yeah. But then we actually got into a very interesting conversation.
About the flaws of sexual education. We started sharing stories about how we both like first learned what actual sex really was.
Yeah.
And believe it, like, you know, surprise, surprise, it wasn't from the education system. And it wasn't even from our parents. Which, like, if you're not gonna learn it through school, you're gonna learn it through your parents. Or if you're not gonna learn it from your parents, you're gonna learn it through school. And I, like, that's not how I learned.
No. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of learned, but like, I went to a Catholic school from K through 12.
I want you to share your Apple story at some point. You can share it now if you like.
Okay, well, alright, well, let me just give him a quick background. So, I went to a Catholic school, and, like, they very much preached abstinence and everything like that, so, I mean, like...
When your sex ed is abstinence, you know you're doing it right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
perfect. Yeah, it was spot on. But, a story that, like... was probably like the most like at least like what teachers did as traumatizing experiences was in 10th grade, I had religion first period, and we had religion every day, 42 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 13 years. Like, so.
That sounds fun.
Oh, it wasn't. Not to say religion's bad or anything, it's just not for me. But,
Organized religion.
Organized religion is not for me. But, so, going to Catholic school, I had this teacher, and I won't name names, but he comes in and he's just holding an apple. Just holding an apple out. And he waits till the entire class is silent, because we're all just kind of like, we thought we were getting like an Adam and Eve kind of a thing going on, but no. He holds it up and he says, "This is your virginity." And I was like, yeah, and then he takes a big bite out of it. And so, nomming on it, and then he throws it around the classroom and has anybody that's pretty much willing to take a bite out of it. And at the end of it, he comes back and he holds it and he's like, "Is this what you want to give to your husband?" And he takes it and he smashes it on the ground. And he's like, "Pick that up." And like, and then he's holding us like, "That was your virginity." And I was like,
Yeah, so, I mean, we could talk about the numerous ways this is wrong. First of all, it's slut shaming. It's shaming people who, like, want to embrace their sexuality and want to be sexually active. I mean, and if you want to be sexually active and you want to be safe about it and educated about it, then fucking be sexually active.
as long as you feel ready for it in your body,
Yeah, you gotta, I mean, it's gotta be your choice. Everything's gotta be consensual.
Yeah.
You gotta be really safe about it. But, like...
Yeah, and it's important to be educated about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, as long as you're doing it right, there's nothing wrong with having sex, especially before marriage. Like,
yeah, I do think that you should be, like, emotionally,
well, yes.
like, ready and everything. I just don't want to be like,
have lots of sex. No, but like, if you
once you're ready,
if you feel ready,
and you're in a loving health, or you know, in a relationship that you feel comfortable.
If you're ready, you're doing it smart, you're doing it safe, and it's all consensual. Like, you have Ashley Mardell's blessing to have sex. And I know that's what you want, so now you have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then besides that, it's also really heteronormative. It's also really sexist.
Yeah.
By saying, like, do you want to give this to your husband? Like, that's just degrading to women. It implies that a woman's role is to, like, be a gift to their, So, I mean, you can count the ways that's wrong.
Yeah. And it was just, like, it was such a, like, a traumatizing experience for me, because I was like, if I don't want a husband, like, you know, kind of a thing, but
which totally brings me to my next point, which is that the only sex I ever learned from, you know, anyone who, like, sought out to teach me about sex, not like my own, like, seeking out, like, sex education, but, like, so from school, from parents, from anything, was
all heterosexual.
Totally heterosexual sex. And it's all, like, intercourse. They don't teach any other kinds, like, straight up, like, penis and vagina, you know, like, intercourse. They don't teach any other ways to have sex.
No.
And there's lots of ways to have sex, and I think there should be, like, a whole unit on, like, all the ways you can have sex for fun, because sex, you know, but it's more like...
Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, I don't know
it's not
necessarily,
like that,
but, like...
But it's more like, hey, if you don't connect with traditional straight-up intercourse, like heterosexual intercourse, that's okay. You're not super weird. You're not a freak.
Yeah.
Because there are other ways to have sex, even just like that message. Like to be honest, I don't even know if you have to go into it. You could, that'd be fine with me.
Yeah, just being like, that's not the only.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of a thing. Because I mean, I
thought that was the only way.
I mean, I don't
the
think,
longest time.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I don't think it's like the. I'm not saying that it's the public school system's obligation to be like, just so you know.
Well, there's also
blankety
anal blow. You know, like
just so you know, but and then, like, my other experience, again, going to Catholic school, like, they, again, preached abstinence, like, the only thing, and they pretty much said, if you're not abstinent, and then they just showed us a slideshow of STDs. Like, that's what's gonna happen to you. Like, nothing about practicing safe sex, nothing about getting tested, nothing, you know, anything about those kinds of things. It was just like, if you have sex without more than just one person, if you both have had, you know, kind of a thing, and it was just...
And that's not safe, because then the kiddo's gonna, like feel shameful for having sexual thoughts and wanting to have sex, and they're gonna try to be abstinent for as long as they can until it just builds up so much, and they're in a situation where they can't have sex, and they're just gonna go for it without any condoms, without any education, potentially without consent, without, you know, like, they're gonna wait as long as they're gonna hold off and be abstinent as long as they can until they do it in a wrong way.
Well, and I know it's different because, again, I went to a Catholic school, and because of the religious aspect, they can't endorse. I mean, like,
true.
You know, kind of a thing, but which is why I think I had a much different experience than a lot of people.
But
because
I felt a promotion of abstinence in my public school.
Okay.
It was, like, implied and subtle.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't like abstinence is the right way. They were just always like, abstinence is always a great option if you're unsure of things. You can definitely be abstinent / you should probably be abstinent.
Well, and even like, and they said even after you're married, they were like, you shouldn't use any type of contraception. They should say you should do natural family planning.
Oh yeah.
You know, and stuff like that, instead of being like, well, you should just know when you ovulate. That way you like you won't get pregnant, and it won't. It's not 100%. And for people that don't want to have children,
right?
Like you know, like there's nothing wrong with not wanting to have kids either.
Yeah, and a lot of schools don't even teach. I mean, we definitely learned about condoms a ton, but I don't know how much we covered oral contraception or any kind of like
birth control.
Birth control.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, condoms are great for STDs. They're super, super great for STDs, but I mean, they're only 85% effective for like pregnancy.
Yeah.
And that's like 15% not effective. That's a lot of percent to like get on having a kid.
Well, and it requires like either party to be responsible for that thing, because you know there's I know of like a couple of friends even in high school that got pregnant specifically because they didn't have a condom at the time. They're like, let's just chance it, like kind of a thing.
Exactly.
But like if you were on a contraceptive of some like another like like on some type of birth control, like hey, that helps, you know, kind of a thing. So I mean, not saying that there's one right way to do things. I think that you should be able to teach, you know, I think it's good to provide as much information as possible when it comes to this kind of stuff. So
and not shaming any choice that people are considering.
No.
Like
if you want to be abstinent, Be
Yeah,
abstinent.
if
Go
you felt
for
like
it.
we shamed abstinence in this video,
No, not at all.
no, that's great. We feel like it's so pushed. So
To be like that sexuality is
Right.
only
Right.
for one specific.
Yeah, and like you're talking to someone who was fine being abstinent for a very long time. So like
Yeah.
it wasn't like, yeah, I mean, you're not just talking to like a really, really sexual person who was in high school and was like really wanted to get it
No,
on and was like
neither was
turned
I.
off by this abstinence thing.
No.
It was just like, I don't know, I felt like it was
Well,
really...
that's how I was in high
Yeah.
school too. Like I just
was
didn't.
like, okay, that's not really...
Yeah, it just wasn't a desire
Exactly.
of mine at the time. But I know people that really did.
Yeah.
But like, and there was nothing that made them a worse person for doing that.
Exactly.
But there's nothing that made me a worse person for wanting to
Exactly.
wait. So I think that at least like when it comes to teenagers or people in high school or even people that are our age that want to practice, like I think that they should just educate themselves as much as possible.
Exactly, and another thing is to be really fast. But like something that I like only recently learned, like in the last 2-3 years, and I'm like 23, so like in my 20s I learned this is there's more forms of birth control than oral contraception.
Oh yeah.
And like that's wasn't in at least in my high school
No,
covered at
no.
all.
No.
They barely touched on oral contraception, and there's more forms of birth control. Like there's the
little bar that
IUD
you-
bar.
there's
the
the-
NuvaRing.
yeah.
There's the pill.
There's
the
a pad.
shot.
There's the patch. Like, yeah.
And there's like, and none like they all are very different, but none of them is weird.
No.
I think I can like think of friends. I can think of like I have friends who probably have done every single kind of one. I can think of a friend that matches each one, and like it's just they're in different situations, and it works better for them.
Yeah, and I remember even in high school, I had a friend that did like the patch and did that kind of stuff because I mean they wanted to be sexually active, and then was shown kind of at school, and they got in trouble for it.
That's messed up.
Yeah, but
Some people like can't remember to take a pill every day.
yeah,
Other people think it's weird to put a ring
inside your body
for several weeks. Even though it's not necessary, like medical. I don't know.
We're not doctors.
Right. But yeah, and then other people can't handle the invasiveness of the IUD.
the bar,
Other people
yeah.
don't want to go. Just a little. All
right,
blah,
anyway,
blah, blah,
anyway.
blah, blah. End of thing. The video cut off. So
Yeah.
we're just ending it. You get it.
Yeah. All right. So, but that was our in-depth conversation for the night.
Yep.
Comment question of the day.
What's your favorite sex? I'm just kidding.
Your mother watches this.
Don't. Okay, now what's your favorite sex? What are some qualms you have with the sexual education system?
Yeah. Like, what do you?
What would you like to see changed?
Yeah, or what's something that you found helpful in your sexual education?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, splish, splash, waterfall, give a dog a bone.
Good night. You're so cute. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be daily vlogging more.
You have the cutest little cheeks, don't you?
I ruin my lens every time we end a video.
Bye.